God, he's got a mouth in his hand.
Ready? It's ready? You ready? I'm going to call to order this August 12th meeting of the Marshall County Board of Zoning Appeals. First item of business, the roll call of the members.
Mr. Bennett?
Here.
Mr. Goya? Mr. Nunemaker?
Here.
Ms. Brockway?
Here.
And Mr. Hutchinson?
Here. Next item is the review of the July 15th regular meeting minutes. You want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from the July 15th meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Finding of facts, we're going to wait till next month on last month's findings. First case, 25 BZA 39 MBH Properties. Tabled from last month. MBH, want to come up? And if you would both have a seat and state your name for the record and address.
Ben Hirschberger. And the address is 66886 County Road 3, Wakarusa, Indiana.
Okay, you, ma'am?
Esther Millen, 30401 County Road 146, Napton, Indiana.
Okay, Nicholas?
Yes, the applicant Ben Hirschberger is requesting a variance of use to use 1.57 acres of the site for a home building business, including a 100-foot by 72-foot storage building and a 140-foot by 64-foot office building and driveway. Property is located on Elm Road and Fifth Road. The southwest corner is where the site is proposed. Southeast, I'm sorry. That is very tiny on the screen. Let me explain that a little bit. Okay, procedure. The Board of Zoning Appeals reviews and makes final decision on this case based upon the findings of fact as defined in the state statute. Analysis: the site is farm field and contains no structures. The proposed building site is on the southeast corner of the parcel located at 5th and Elm Road. Closest neighboring residence is located approximately 1,000 feet from the proposed building site. Findings: public health, safety, welfare, use and value, and strict application of the code. Finding 1, the approval of the request will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Finding 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. 3, strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulty in use of the property. Finding 4, strict application of the terms of this ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship as they are applied to the property for which the variance is sought. Finding 5, the granting of the variance does not interfere substantially with the comprehensive plan. Recommendation: based upon the information provided, staff recommends approval of the request. TRC recommended approval with the condition of detailed drainage plans, Health Department septic approval, impervious drainage approval for the large amount of impervious drainage to make sure water is not shedding onto neighbors' properties. That is it for my presentation.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add?
Not too much. Yeah, we're just, as stated, looking to put 2 buildings up. We have a construction company looking to store vehicles in there. We have quite a few employees right in that area, or 5 or 6, I should say. And trying to, make it where they don't have as far to go, to get to their where they leave for their job sites.
Okay. Obviously, one of the big issues is the drainage and the...
Yeah, the drainage. I did talk with Bernie from Reitman down in Plymouth about the drainage, and he was planning to do a drainage plan. He's out a little ways, so he couldn't get it done. But yeah, I've been talking with him. He said there will be a retention pond that's gonna be required for the drainage board.
Yeah.
And so that'll hold the water and just slowly let it out.
Okay.
We do have a letter from Bernie Feeney from Whiteman stating he has been contacted to do a drainage plan for the site.
Now, since the building's over 4,000 square feet, to get the permit, did they have to go through and get a drainage plan?
They'll have to get a drainage plan anyway, yeah. And that was TRC's recommendation, was to get a drainage plan, so,
Okay.
but they would have had to anyway.
And then the tile, where's the tile from Stoller property? Where does it run? Across
That
yours?
will approximate, we'll try and make it run right between the two buildings, we go back to the site plan. From, if you're looking at that, yeah,
So yeah.
right there between the two buildings. We'll locate we approximately located, he had it pointed out, on the other side of the road where it comes through there. And it was really close, we can move the buildings to make it fit right through there so they got access to it.
Okay. Are you gonna plan to hook to it or on your solar release? Is that what you're
Probably
gonna do?
not, we'll probably have our own tile run out there. I don't know how much water's coming through there.
Where are you gonna put the retention pond? Up at the top near the buildings?
That, Bernie will make the final decision on that, but we're thinking probably closer out there towards Elm Road, maybe a little bit there.
Okay.
Property drains south to north, right?
Yeah. Or, yeah, south to north, yes.
But see,
The county tile runs right through, right to the north of our property.
That's what they're highlighting now. And that, I've talked to Craig Coltice, he's a county surveyor, he's also on the ditch board, and he's on the TRC, so he was concerned that tile can't take any more water than what's there. That's why he is pretty concerned that we have a good plan, that it's a
Right.
super slow release.
Yeah,
You retain
that's-
all the water from your impervious.
I did talk with Bernie about that, and yeah, he said, with the area, it's definitely gonna be a retention pond. And so I asked him, well, is it gonna make it better, make it better for the neighbors? He said, well, he can't say it's gonna make it better, but he said it's definitely not gonna make it worse.
Okay.
Cause the drainage pond, he said it'd be a 4-inch pipe coming from the drainage pond, retention pond, to that. So it's gonna be a slow release, that'll hold the water, let basically everybody else's water go through, and then ours will go through after.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else any questions? Have you dug that tile up to see what the condition of it is? I mean, whether it can be driven over without destroying it, or?
We have not, we haven't done anything with the property besides planted the corn in there. That was done pretty soon.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Motion on public hearing?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, second, open public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, public hearing is now open. Anybody here to speak in favor of this request? Yes? Come on up. If you'd have a seat over here and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Danny Detweiler. I live at 6489 Elm Road, Bremen, which is a 1.5 miles south on Elm Road from the property in question. I am the general manager of IBM Construction. I take care of all the employees and the day-to-day schedule. Having our shop there would benefit me big time, obviously, because it's that close to home, but all of our employees would filter right through that general direction anyway, on a daily basis. So it would just make us way more efficient in all aspects, honestly. So
Okay.
I guess I don't have a whole lot more. So
Okay, thank you. Anybody else here to speak in favor? Anybody speak opposed? Come on up. You want, whoever wants to start, go ahead, you come on up. We'll start with the gentleman here in the hat. You would have a seat and state your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, hi.
Stephen Smith, 4285th Road, Bremen, Indiana.
So you're the place to the west,
Yes.
the farm?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm worried about the water runoff because there's usually a pond already down there by the tower. And most of the year, the part that goes through me there is, there's always water in that 18-inch tile. It's probably half full now, so, you start putting more runoff water down, going down through there. It's a little bit further to the west. Go around the woods there, and then that low there, back there, yeah, right there. Yeah, that section there, I mean, it's usually is half full of water, that 18-inch tile, all year long, so, because, it's settled, so there's always water standing there. And like I say, I'm pumping the water off that field trying to, all year, so whenever it rains. But this year it's been fairly dry, so haven't had too much problem yet.
Okay. And you realize he's gonna have to put a retention pond in to
Yeah,
catch
I
all of it?
understand, but
Okay.
you're still gonna have some runoff. I mean, there's already runoff there down there in that hole. I'm sure the guy that lives further down there on Elm Road has seen water standing in that low ground there next to the tower on that side of the ditch. Elm Road.
Okay.
So
Anything else?
I don't know. I guess that's just kind of it. Other than it's mostly farm ground. You start building more. They've already built houses along Elm further up there, so it's gonna take away from farming. It's gonna look more city. So I
Okay.
guess that's all I got to say. So
All right, thanks.
thank you.
Who'd like to be next? Come on up, Joe. You would state your name and address for the record, please.
Joseph Stoller, 3708 Grape Road, Bremen, 46506. Yeah, I'm against this project also, for the exact same things. I mean, it's 16,000 square foot under roof, the parking lot, tons of drainage issues. I've seen that tile firsthand. It's very overloaded. It's very old. It's broken down. I mean, it about needs replaced now. But if this happens and we're dumping a retention pond, it's gonna need replaced, no doubt about it. So, and even if you move the buildings, I've got that 7-inch clay that goes to the north, but then let's say that breaks down, I gotta get permission to go tear his fence out, tear a parking lot out, move his equipment. It's different than calling a neighbor and saying, hey, can I dig a hole over there and fix this thing? And so
where he's putting the tile, where he showed, where the tile is, where his buildings are gonna be, is that accurate?
it's somewhere in there, yeah, where he was showing the red dot. Yeah, it would run somewhere in there and dump into that county tile. So,
What if he replaced that piece, or he's gonna put?
I mean, there's that option, I guess. I can't.
I'm concerned about him driving over an old clay tile. How deep is it?
On my side, it's like 6-7 foot.
Oh, it's that
the
deep?
road, but the road, it really drops off really fast. So I would say it's going to shallow up over there. Yeah, it's deep because it drains 2 low holes on the side of Elm Road. But yeah, so I've got that issue, the tile, all the drainage. I understand there'll be a drainage plan and whatnot, but
You understand how the retention will work? The water will have to go
it'll
into
hold
it,
it,
and then it'll have to be a slow release into the
when it
main
gets
tile.
so high, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then, so it'll be a slow release. He said 4-inch, it maybe have to be smaller, I don't know.
Yeah, well, smaller is better.
Yeah.
In this case. But yeah, basically I just, I keep coming back to these findings of fact, though. I don't see a practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship because this farm, it was a field before, it can be farmed again in the future. I mean, it was bought as a farm. So you're not out anything there, you still got a farm. And then the comprehensive plan favors agriculture, rural landscape, responsible development, etc., just over and over throughout. Here on one page it says ag land should be afforded protection from intrusions by non-farm uses. Over and over again, this is simply a construction company with 18 to 20 employees. I mean, it's not a small operation. Sounds like a successful growing business. I think it's time just to grow the right way in town in a commercial or industrial setting, not out in the middle of A1 agriculture zoning. At the last meeting, I think a head site came up as an example, but that started as a home-based business. You know, it was in a garage and grew. But they constantly are doing testing on combines. I mean, they'll go out and harvest a neighbor's crops and, you know, play with the corn head and tweak things and do this. And the engineer goes back inside. I mean, it's a totally different animal. It's agriculture, and there's a reason they have to be in the country. So I guess I just want to make that clear there. And once again, that started in the home, kind of like this is in Wakarusa, but he's now outgrown his home and wants to move. Yeah, last time I just, yeah, we kind of came up that this farm was bought with this intent, but once again, I don't think that should sway the decision of this board in any way. The roads out there, Fifth Road is terrible. I don't buy into the theory of just because they don't work on site, there's less traffic. To me, that means double the traffic, because you go to the building, you get in a truck, you leave the building. And then in the afternoon, you come back to the building, then you go home. That's 2 trips to work to me. So it's double the traffic. There's gonna be salesmen, customers, etc. if there's an office there. So you're gonna have all that stuff going on. I just keep coming back to that it's time to grow correctly. I think this business should be somewhere in town. If they're growing like they obviously have been, they're gonna grow again. They're gonna need more buildings. Where does it stop? It's just not a home-based business. And I think that it goes against the comp plan, the county's comprehensive plan in multiple different ways. So I think that the area should stay agriculture and favor just agriculture in the rural current landscape in the area. So thank you.
So what's your thoughts on the tile if we approve this, where it goes through there? I mean,
At the very least, like, yeah, I've got.
I'm gonna ask him if he'd be willing to replace that tile, put at least a new single wall plastic in there.
Yeah. At the very least, yeah, I think that probably should be done.
How come you didn't take yours south to the ditch? Is there not a fall to?
Yeah,
When you had
there's 2 low holes on the side of Elm. A lot of my water does go to that Mattern ditch on the south side. But there, you know, when you can find an existing main like that works, and it's good, and I mean, yeah, you're not gonna run another main over here and spend a bunch of money. It just kind of.
It looks pretty flat there. I mean, the topals are all like 806 and so you probably could not really have run it to the south with enough fall to get in the ditch.
No, I mean, a lot of the water goes there, but some of the existing tiles go north through that 7.
How much goes north, would you say? How many acres?
How
many acres in that parcel? 50, 80?
Well, there's 60 on the one corner, 40 on the other. I'd say maybe 15 acres of it. 20 acres might.
It goes north?
Yeah, through that 7. It's a good tile. I mean, there's 2 risers on both sides of Elm Road, and they take water anytime it floods. And, I mean, it's heavy dirt out through there. It floods.
So the tile goes east across Elm, the private tile?
Private tile.
Yours?
It goes, west into the bigger field and then north. Yeah.
Okay, but it starts on the east side of Elm, south of 5th.
It starts on the west side of Elm, south of. You're talking about by the 7-inch clay.
Yeah. The 7-inch clay comes from the main.
It runs north-south.
Right, it hooks in the county ditch, comes up, crosses 5th.
Crosses 5th to the south.
Does it go east and across?
It does a jog over to the east, yeah.
Does it go across Elm then?
It
Or
does underneath Elm.
on your property?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's on, it drains both sides of Elm Road for me.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yep. So, I don't know. It could be dug up and a new one put around the building or something, but I don't think that's the answer tonight. I'm definitely against the project.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Anybody else speak against? Come on up.
Hello,
If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
my name is Joanne Mattern. 4381 Fifth Road. My
Where's,
sister and I, Nancy Shirk, we own the farm that abuts Joe Stoller's land, 80 acres.
so from this property, where is yours?
We live on Fifth Road. We're the second farm in. We're next to where Joe Stoller is. We own the 80 acres west of him on Fifth Road.
Okay, on the south side of Fifth Road.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know too much about drainage, but we have we wrote a letter, my sister and I, the last time for the meeting, which stated our main concerns. But when we watched the video of the last meeting, we saw that IBM Construction had made a couple of points that we just wanted to comment on, which was, they said they bought the land with the intent of building these storage units on it because 5 or 6 of their workers live in the area. And if this goes through in 10 or 15 years or however, how many of those workers will still live in the area or work for IBM Construction? We don't know. But there'll be these storage buildings there in the cornfields for a long time yet. And then the second point I wanted to make is that they said they paid a premium for the land. Everybody paid a premium for that farmland. I know it was my aunt's land. So I think everyone paid a premium because it's farmland and it's quiet, it's rural. The same families have lived around that corner. Yeah, I'm 72 years old and I've lived across from Steve Smith for all that time. And the Lottomans and my aunt and uncle have owned that, and my grandfather owned this land before that. So it's a stable farming community. And it just seems like IBM Construction doesn't need to build on farmland to accommodate 5 or 6 workers right now, because those buildings are gonna be there for a long time, and it seems like they could find a commercial place to build that. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else to speak against? Come on up. State your name and address for the record, please.
Todd Lauterman, 4239 Elm Road. Like everyone else in the room, I do have serious concerns with drainage. And I understand your proposal for a slow release, but that tile, the G. Bowser R number 1, is in not good shape. And in fact, to the east of Elm Road, about where the red dot is, that there's a really tan spot. If it rains significantly, there will be water standing there for a minimum of a week. And I don't see how adding any more water, I would love to add tile to our farm ground there, but there's not a good outlet to do that. I can't imagine adding more water would help that situation, no matter the time frame.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Anybody else to speak against? Any correspondence?
Yes.
So first correspondence we have is from Joe Stiles. This was as Vice President of Property and Casualty Insurance, NFP, 109 West Plymouth Street, Bremen, Indiana. I'm writing in support of the proposed building permit for Ben Hirschberger, IBM Construction, for the recently purchased property at the corner of Fifth Road and Elm Road in Bremen. My wife and I live at 2526 Fifth Road, a couple miles east of this location. Any improvements to that area would create property tax revenue and also encourage road improvements to Fifth Road between Elm and Fir we are in favor of. That section of dirt road is fairly heavily traveled, poorly maintained, and should be paved. I've known Ben as a client for many years, and now as a customer of his, I can attest to his integrity, and I'd be confident that he'd be a good steward of the property with minimal impact to the few residents near the location. This is from Rich Graham, president of Kingdom Ag Concepts, Inc., 3529 Fur Road, Bremen, Indiana. To the Marshall County Board of Zoning Appeals, this to add to your information concerning 25 BZA 39 MBH Properties LLC, as they seek a variance for use for IBM construction on the property at Elm and Fifth Road. My name is Rich Graham, and I own two businesses that have had a variance needed when we started a new location. And I see many reasons this can bless the community, as is typical when we allow new places for business opportunity. The one is Head Site Building at 48453B Road, and another is my Kingdom Ag Concepts building that served as the original Head Site Building at my house, which is 3529 Fur Road, approximately 2 miles from the site in question. With the extra effort and good planning, issues of drainage and land building value can be taken care of and prove valuable assets for each over time. We were served very well with the firm, Kaufman Construction, less than 2 miles, just around the corner on Fur Road on our house remodel project this last year, and know the benefits of businesses serving our community in a variety of ways, and both the laborers benefiting and the inhabitants of the community overall. Thank you for your consideration. This is signed David Miller, 6757 6A Road, Plymouth, Indiana. This is concerning 25 BZA 39 NBH Properties LLC for the request for a variance of use for IBM construction on the property at Fifth Road, Bremen, Indiana. I would like to see that the board approve this variance. This will help the employees to have an easier commute, as well as make the company be more efficient. As a small business owner myself, I know the importance of the community working together for the good of all people involved. This is from Mark Hostetler, 2921 Fifth Road, Bremen. This is concerning 25 BZA 39 MBH Properties, LLC, for request for variance for use IBM construction. This is Mark Hostetler, and I live approximately 1 mile from this property. I strongly recommend that the board approve this variance, as this will help increase property values. As a small business owner, having a business close to employees is a great asset for the community and the employees in this county. Requiring a small construction company to be placed in a commercial property would cause a big disadvantage, as few construction companies are based on commercial property. This is from Jeremiah and Cheryl Burkholder. Do not have an address. This is concerning 25 BZA 39 MBH Properties. We, as the surrounding community, would like to have this variance passed. We see this as an asset to the community to allow this variance to pass, as IBM Construction has been a company dedicated to integrity, honesty, and hard work. It says we are planning to build on the north adjoining property on Fifth Road, Bremen, Indiana, and have no objections to IBM Construction doing likewise.
What did you say? So they own the property to the north?
To the north.
Okay. Where the tile,
they are right here.
Okay.
We have John Miller. I am in favor of this company moving to Marshall County. I believe it would benefit the local economy through wages and tax income for the county, less commute time for the local employees. Thank you for all you do. Well, that was a nice one. That's good. Yeah. And finally, this is signed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 separate people, all within 2 miles. We'll have the addresses and everything into the record, or do you want me to read them all?
Read the names.
Okay. I'll read as many as I can. We as a surrounding community would like to have this variance passed. We see this as an asset to the community to allow this variance to pass is IBM Construction has been a company dedicated to integrity, honesty, and hard work. We have Nathan Hostetler, Jesse Miller, Lyle Burkholder, I think Eli Burkholder, Junior, Eli Jr.,
Rudy Detweiler,
Rudy Detweiler, Floyd Burkholder,
Eli Burkholder Senior,
Eli Burkholder, Jeremy
Schwartz,
and Gary Kramer. And full disclosure, Gary is an employee of IBM Construction.
He is what?
An employee of IBM Construction.
Is that all of them?
That is all the correspondence.
Motion closed?
Motion to close.
Second. Motion made, second to close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearing is now closed. I mean, one of the questions the lady asked, you bought it to build on it. I mean, that's
We did,
pretty
yeah,
obvious.
full disclosure, yeah. I think most people that bought the properties, bought it to build on it.
It sounds like the one kid is gonna build next door to it, so
Yeah, we
he's gonna
did
build
talk
on it.
with him, and yeah, he's planning on building the one directly to the north of us, sharing the same property line there, is in favor, or.
I take it he must be gonna build in the back?
Yeah, that's the only spot he would have, yeah. With the easement of the drain and the power line.
Would you be willing to replace that tile with a new tile from the road to the north part of where you're?
We could definitely take a look at it. I think Bernie will come up with a plan. I did talk with Craig a little bit, the surveyor. He said there is another county drain just to the, right on Fifth Road, to the west, somewhere there.
It's to the
I don't know if
south.
it
It's that
shows up
green
there.
down there.
Well, no, there's another one right where he's pointing his
Oh, I see.
arrow there. So he said that might be an option too, to run our water, that way, instead of, he would have to make the final determination, but yeah, that would be, there is a county tile there, to help with the water flow. I'm not sure who all ties into that one, but it sounds like from Greg, he said that one's a better tile, it's got more room to grow there.
So, back to my question, would you be willing to fix that tile that Stoller has that goes through there to make
To
sure
fix
that,
it or put a new one in?
to replace it with a good,
I would
or
think
give
so,
it a clay tile.
especially if we can tie into it, I would say.
and you definitely are gonna have to put a retention pond in,
Right,
big
we'd
enough to
have to.
cover. Cause I come up with about 50,000 square feet is what you're gonna have impervious. Cause inside the fence, you're gonna have that
Yeah, that
stone
would
too,
grow
right?
too. It'll be basically that blue area,
Yeah. I come up with 49,225
That sounds
square feet.
right, yeah.
And I don't know how they figure the water, it goes by 10 year, 100 year, I don't know how they do it, but Bernie knows how to figure one out. So if we approve it, since we don't have the drainage, how is that gonna work?
I mean, you can make it conditional on the drainage plan being approved.
Who's gonna approve it?
Craig and myself approve it, and I rely heavily on Craig. I mean, he knows all the calculations, he knows what he's doing, so,
And that's who I've been talking to on this, with this.
yeah.
He didn't say anything about this tile going to the west along the road. And I didn't see it on the GIS.
Now, this is the first time I'm observing it actually as well, so.
Big A questions? Trent? You still looking?
No, I'm still looking. I'm just not, it's not home base is kind of where I'm hung up, and,
It's not home-based, we're not, they are not asking for a home base, they're asking for a variance of use. Allowed as a special use within A1 is vehicle warehousing storage. The thing that kind of throws this in the loop is the office space. Kind of changes the nature of that special use.
So you're gonna have an office there? A sales
We're
office?
hoping to, but we do have our offices in Wakarusa too. But it would make it a little convenient to be out there in the office too.
So you have people come in from there, or what do you?
I mean,
Obviously, all your material is
yeah.
normally delivered to the
As far
sites.
as sales, we almost, 95% of the time go out to the customer instead of having them come in.
What about retail sale of lumber and
No
metal?
retail. sales
Nothing?
there.
And your employees are all Amish or most
No,
Amish?
not all. I mean, it's probably 75% probably would be a fair assumption.
So you're only looking at what, 2 or 3 cars a day?
It's going to be very minimal. They'll travel together or ride their bike, or if they're that close, they can easily ride their bike if they wanted to. So yeah, traffic wise, it's going to be very minimal. We already have our work trucks picking up guys, in that area and going through there. So the additional traffic would be minimal for sure.
Because like I said, I've done pull board and prep work for years, and I've never heard of your company, so that kind of threw me. But so you don't do a lot in this area then? Most of your
Not
stuff
too
is-
much. We do a lot in Southwest Michigan, and being in Marshall, we'll probably end up doing more, in this area. But yeah, we do travel quite a ways, a lot in Michigan, South Bend, LaPorte area, and so forth.
So the guys that go there now that don't have cars, do they carpool, or how do they get to?
Pretty
Wakarusa?
much, yeah. They come up to Wakarusa and go from there. So some have, a good half an hour or more travel just to get to the office, and then have a drive time yet to the job site.
Okay. So to answer my question, yes, you would replace that tile
I
underneath
think,
where you're gonna-
I don't know the condition, but yeah, if that's what it takes, yeah, we would make agreement to do
The
that.
public hearing's closed. I know you're a neighbor, but the public hearing's closed.
I need to let you know, on the north arm there's a fiber optic cable that goes along there, so it's probably no good, but it goes to Bremen. Like I say, there's a little substation at the Elm and Fifth Road, so that goes along the road then, so
So you think they probably plowed that into that tile?
I would imagine, yes.
So it's not, I didn't see it on the GIS maps. Is this something you got anything hooked into? Does it work at all, or?
Not that I know of, but I'm just saying, they buried the fiber optic cable along that side of the road that goes to the cell phone tower on Elm Road. And then, like I said, they got little boxes there at the corner on Lottomans and
So-
whatever, and then it goes to the west then, and then it goes up to Bremen,
So that flows west, right?
yeah, the north arm, flows west, yes.
Okay, because there's a ditch to the east on Fifth Road.
Yeah.
Nothing goes that way.
No, like I say, there's not enough fall to go south. It's gotta go either north or, out that way, and then you're gonna get into Lottomans there where they got, water problems there in their little hole along Elm.
So this what they call north arm, where does that hook into the Bowser, or does that go directly to the
I
river?
think that goes to the Yellow River eventually.
I don't know why I didn't see it on GIS today.
All I know is you're gonna have a fiber optic cable that runs all the way along the road on the north side. That's why I wanted to say something.
Okay.
Because it goes to Bremen, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that turns in, look where that goes. That goes south and into the Mattern. Okay. Anybody got questions? Anybody comments? Motion?
I'm just concerned about the drainage issue, and that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, before we can get the permit, they'll have to have a drainage plan, absolutely, approved by Greg and Nick.
Well, that would be my stipulation anyway, so.
Yeah. And for me, that he's got to replace the tile where he's going to build on. I mean, he's changing what's, farm ground into impervious ground, and it needs to be not affecting anybody else. You guys, somebody makes the motion, or if you want, whatever you want to. I want the tile replaced where he's going to build on for sure, and definitely a retention with a slow release. Is it clay all the way down? I noticed in one of the things it said it was sand, but then it also said you had to put a mound septic in, so that tells me it's more of a heavier soil. I didn't look at the soil types on there.
Yeah, we dug down a little bit just to see if there's any sand or anything underneath. There's no sand, but I don't know if you could classify it too much as heavy clay. It's more of a kind of a mixture type.
The reason I'm asking is if to not have a release, just that your retention pond lets it all soak away, so there is no water that goes beyond.
Oh, none. I guess Bernie would come up with a plan that would work. I mean, that would be probably in his department to determine that, I would think. But
Okay. Because you were here last month and we had that one with Auto Park, Carmen, he's putting in storage buildings in.
right.
The guy from Bremen did that, and I tried to go through some of the paperwork there to see what the size
Yeah,
would be, and I couldn't make head or tail of it, so.
Bernie said he's been very, I think he's worked with you guys before on different things. And
You've been in here
said
many,
he's had a
many
high
times.
success rate, with it.
Can you elaborate? I know, you got the two buildings and you had a fenced area.
Right.
Can you elaborate on the fenced area and again, what will be stored, if anything, outside?
That'll mainly be, and it'll be a lean-to on the one building will have a lean-to facing the fence area. So our goal is when we bring trailers, which we have skid loaders and different trailers, dump trailers, when we bring those, we can back into the lean-to area. And then, so mainly the gravel area, it won't be too much stored actually in the gravel area. That'd be more for pulling in and backing into the lean-to, the Parker trailers.
Then the fence will be, what kind of fence is it gonna be? Is it more for you, is it more for security and visibility, or more for just for security, I guess?
A little bit of both, yeah. It'd be, and we're even open to doing some shrubs around there, some pine trees or something, on the outside of the fence. You don't have that commercial fence look to it. We'd still have the fence, but have it covered with some shrubs or something to.
But again, I think we talked about this last month. I mean, no outside storage, not any bundles. Trusses not
Nothing
set
in the
here.
driveway, nothing that you can see from the road there in that area. Even the trailers would all be in the fenced area there.
And the office portion, how many office personnel are in there?
Right now you're looking at them. It's just us two, and then Danny is he does in and out, as far as getting things scheduled and stuff, but he's there, I don't know, 1/4 of the time maybe.
Okay. Okay.
As, of course, I can't make any motions or seconds, so.
Kind of. Well, I make a motion that we approve, but I would stipulate that the tile that runs between the building be replaced. That would be a stipulation. So, again, general welfare would not be injurious to the public, and the use and value would not affect anybody substantially, and I'll just leave it go at that.
What about the retention pond?
Oh,
Drainage.
yeah, retention pond must be in place, adequate drainage plan.
Right.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Lori, to approve?
Ms. Bennett,
No.
Mr. Whedon, sorry, Mr. Nunemaker,
Yes.
Ms. Rockaway,
Yes.
Mr. Gustafson.
I think I'm gonna go yes. Okay, it's passed. Thank you. Next case, 25 BZA 42, Terry and Linda Hall. Are the Halls here?
It was, we bought property from the Halls.
Okay. What is your name, Zed?
Dwayne Knott.
Not? Okay,
KUTT.
okay, all right. Yeah, that's fine. You and your wife, whoever can come up.
All right. Dwayne Knott, 4246 West Shore Drive, Bremen, Indiana.
Okay, Lori?
Well, I was gonna say, it wasn't approved.
25, BZA 42, Hall, Terry and Linda, 418 Lipton Street, Bremen, Indiana, 46506. The petitioner, Dwayne Knott, owns lots 65, 66, 67, and 68. And is requesting a variance of development standard on the property.
Hold on a minute, Nicholas. I think it's the elevator.
It's the elevator. Hold on. We've had elevator problems.
Somebody was probably holding it too long for it to get on.
Oh, okay. I brought these in. I don't know if there's any way you want to look at them or. All right, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, there we go.
If you want to start over, that we couldn't hear anything.
That's fine. Petitioner Dwayne Knott owns lots 65, 66, 67, and 68 and is requesting a variance of development standard on the property to reduce the 30-foot front yard setback on Lipton Street to 10 feet, the 30-foot front yard setback on Liberty Street to 16 feet, exceed the 45% maximum lot coverage to 75%, and reduce the south property line from 10 feet to 5-foot setback. This is proposed to build a 40 by 80-foot pole building. So there is a house and garage right here on lot 66 and 67. The pole barn is to be built on 68 and 69. Board of Zoning Appeals reviews and makes the final decision on this case based upon the findings of fact as defined in state statute. Property is currently vacant land used as a yard and personal boat storage. The property is bound by both Liberty Street to the east and Lipton Street to the west, creating 2 front yards. The surrounding neighborhood was not built to the current zoning requirements with shallow setbacks from the right-of-ways, side yards, and exceeding lot coverage maximum. Findings: public health, safety, welfare, use and value, strict application. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in use of the property. Based on the information provided, staff recommends approval of the requested variances along with TRC, and TRC recommended approval with no reduction in south side yard 5-foot setback.
So the TRC did not want it to go to 5 feet, or they wanted to stay at 10? Is that how I read that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they wanted it to stay at 10.
Stay at 10.
Yes.
That's where to look. Anything you'd like to add? Tell us what you're doing.
I'm retired and I'm just building a building. I live right around the corner on West Shore Drive.
Oh, so you don't live in?
No.
Those 2 lots are to the north.
No, I wished I could have bought the 2 lots without the house and the garage, but it was, the lady was selling everything, so.
So you bought all 4 lots together?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I was told I needed to replot it, so to make it all 1 lot. And so that's been done.
I was supposed to have my drawing, from my surveyor by last week, but I was out of town last week and I haven't heard anything from him, and I forgot till today. No, my wife and I built a new home right around the corner, on West Shore Drive, and we've owned the lot on West Shore Drive for a little over 3 years, and ever since we bought the lot on West Shore Drive, I knew I needed a pole building somewhere, and I've been looking high and low, and this kind of fell. The lady tried to sell it, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and she accepted an offer on it, and they built around a mobile home, and so there's a mobile home inside the house. And so the guy who made the offer on the property couldn't get conventional financing because of the construction. And so she ended up, she couldn't sell it. And so she just stayed there. And then there were some lawsuits having to do with something about easement to the channel right behind the property on Liberty Street. And so there were 2 different lawsuits there. So during those lawsuits, she couldn't sell the property. And so after those lawsuits were over with, she won the first one, lost the second one. And she's 82 years old, very, very sweet lady. And after she accepted our offer, she found out she had stage 4 cancer all over her body, and she's since passed. But she deeded the next lot to the south to her son, so because of something to do with the lawsuits, so her son could use the boat access there. So anyway, her son still owns that, but he approached me a week and a half ago about buying that lot, and I'd like to have that lot. So nothing's been talked as far as money or anything, but I need a building. I like to keep things looking nice, and I don't like stuff sitting outside, not even trailers, and I got a pontoon boat, a jet ski trailer, pontoon trailer, snowmobile trailer. I've got 3 hot rods in different stages of completion. And as far as the work I would do on vehicles, I don't do any paint work, and no welding or cutting. So there's not going to be any fumes. I just have the good people do that kind of stuff, and I bolt pretty stuff on. So it's just for storage. I would like to run a water line from the well to the building just to be able to wash vehicles inside. But at this time, there's no plans. At one time, I had planned on putting a restroom inside and a little kitchen, and maybe use it for small parties, family reunions, stuff like that. But that's not in the picture right now. So
You said there's an easement through this property for something?
No, the easement was, if you look behind it, the channel comes up to Liberty right there.
Okay.
And so it was deeded access to all those lots, and I think there's 3 more lots to the south before you get to West Shore Drive. They had deeded access to the channel, and they like I said, they won the first lawsuit, and then they lost the second lawsuit. So I think the only person who has deeded access to the channel now is the guy on the very south that he's up against West Shore Drive.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with your.
No, that has nothing to do. No.
So just to recap, you bought, let's call them lots 66, 67, 68, 69, right?
Correct.
And you're maybe talking to the son about buying 70.
Correct.
So in 66 and 67 are going to be combined to one lot, and 68 and 69 are going to be combined to a second?
No, there's an ordinance or a law or something saying you can't put a pole building up without having
Residential structure.
residential, yeah, and so I plotted it all as one. So the house and the garage, and then the 2 vacant lots are all plotted as one.
And then you'll use you'll use that house as a rental or overflow or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rental property.
And you want to put a big enough building that you're too far to the east and too far to the west.
Well, if you look at the picture there, where you have to start measuring for the setbacks, on one side I lose over 12 feet, and on the other side I lose almost.
Because you have 2 front yards.
Almost 15 feet. And so I forget what the wording was at the beginning, but nothing in that area has been done to current standards. And so that the front of the house that I bought and the front of the garage are in line, and they're 30 feet off of the street, the street. But if you take where the line where I need to start measuring and go back, then if my measurements were right, I couldn't even build a 60-foot building.
So if you buy the south lot, you won't need will you move the building?
And the side yard variance is, I can take that or leave it. I was just trying to get the building away from the house as far as I could. But that's I would like to have it, but if I don't get it, that's fine. But I really need the setbacks off of the streets.
Yeah, and Jeff, I haven't figured the area. I just talked to Dwayne yesterday. He was telling me about that other lot, but lot coverage, he's going to be way closer to the 45. I don't think he'll quite be at 45%. He'll probably still be a little bit over, but he's going to be like 50% maybe.
Well, I think you know my stance on coverage on a lake. Where's the water going to go? In the lake. I mean,
Exactly.
I guess that mustn't make sense to me, but you know.
Yeah. And there's I guess the county put them in, or a developer who developed that back in the 60s, but there's a catch basin out in front of where my building, the porch would be, the little overhead. There's a catch basin there. There's a catch basin across the street a few feet. And then there's a catch basin on Liberty Street that my driveway going up to my building won't enter, but the water from the house and the building to the south of me comes across my property to get to that drainage, and I'll put a culvert in so that won't stop anything.
Okay.
But it doesn't pick up as a county regulated tile drain.
No, I don't think
They're all around the lake, and they got looks like homemade covers on them and stuff. So I don't know who's in charge.
Yeah, I don't know if that was part of the sewer project way back in the 90s or what that was.
Okay. So basically, you're just looking at the front and back, the east and west setbacks.
Yeah.
You'd be fine with the 10 foot on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then if you buy the other property, combine it, then you
Right.
can move it back there if you want.
Will I need to come back before the board to if I get that bought to move it?
No, should be able.
Well,
Combined,
If you already grant him the variance on the front and back front and back setbacks, I don't know why we would bring it back.
if you did get that lot, would you change the footprint of the building and keep it like that, or would it get more squarish?
It won't. The size of the building won't change. I just might move it to the south just a little bit.
Gotcha. Where's your doors? Do you go in on the north side?
I'm gonna have. I'm looking at Class A motorhomes with roof air, and so I need a 14-foot door for the motorhomes I'm looking at. So there's going to be an 18 by 14 overhead door on Lipton Street, and that's going to be centered in the building. Can I bring this up?
That's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't
You're
make
fine.
more copies.
You're fine. Just give it a
We'll pass it around.
Pass her down.
So that's
That's
Lipton
Lipton Street. Got it.
And those are identical, one side, one the other. This is Liberty Street, so the doors are gonna be centered in the ends of the building, and this one's only gonna be 10 foot high. It'll be an 18 by 10 door.
So how far off the road will you be?
Over 30 feet.
Okay. Plenty of room to park a car there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll, I end up, if my measurements are correct, I end up with 1.5 feet to play with. I'm just gonna center it right in between the streets and I'll have a 30 foot plus drive on both sides.
Okay.
No windows.
To draw the distinction, that distance includes his property and unpaved right of way.
Right of way, yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got right of way over here, and there's a bit more substantial right of way on Liberty.
I got you.
Okay. Anybody else got any questions?
Motion to open public hearing.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded, to open public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearing is now open. Anybody here speak in favor of his request? Anybody here to speak against? Any correspondence?
Yes, we do have correspondence. This is from Ronald V. We'll look at the name here. 4077 Lipton Street, Bremen, Indiana. The request for variance to 2 front yard setbacks and reduce south side yard setback. I question the objective of the variance. This location is in a quiet Lake of the Woods neighborhood. To construct a building other than a single-family residence could possibly lessen the values of the existing homes.
Where's that house at?
I believe he is north.
Zillick.
Zelenik.
I think is he from Highland? Is that his address?
No, he put his Lipton Street.
Oh, okay. He's a weekender and he's 2 or 3 houses down.
It's not directly across the street. Then.
No, the Meisters, Jerry and Pam Meister are directly across the street from me. And then there's another Cindy, I don't know her last name. And then I think that's the gentleman, it would be the next one.
It's this one right here, gang.
So it's quite a ways north. Okay.
Next we have from Deb and Rob McPherson at 4066 Liberty Street. We are not, excuse me, we are not able to attend in person due to previous commitments, but are writing to let you know we are strongly opposed to this request for a variance. The board allowing construction of an 80-foot by 40-foot pole barn covering 75% of the lot is permitting a commercial building to be constructed in the center of residential properties. Neighborhood ambience would be completely altered, and there would be nothing prohibiting this building from becoming a business in the future, further denigrating adjacent properties. Marketability of all homes in the vicinity would be reduced and values would decrease. Zoning ordinances were written with the intention to protect owners from extreme variations such as this plan. Not only would this negatively impact the specific communities, but it would set a precedent for all around the lake.
Where is that? What's the address? Where's that house at?
It's 4066, and they are this property right here. And so let me just clarify at this point too. Part of the analysis was looking at the properties right around here in both lot coverage and setbacks. I mean, you can see on the map here, we've got a lot of houses that cover over 45%. A lot of them are just at, a lot of them are 50%-ish. I think one was as high as 65%. And you can see the setbacks on a lot of these.
So I see in L1 that accessory structures are permitted use. Is there a limit on the size of an accessory structure?
No, also looking, there are some fairly large garages on some of these properties. nothing quite this substantial till we get down here. This is obviously off lake, but again, large building. The other one down here, you have a fairly large building. I believe this one is about the same size as what Mr. Knott is proposing. There's another one. It's a little farther up the way. One that I remember Mr. Knott came in and actually asked if he could build there. Just a little bit lesser in size than what he's proposing.
Gotcha. I just wanted, to that letter's question of,
Then on the
structure.
the west side of the lake, there's a lot of pole barns over there on the west side of, I don't know what that road's called.
West Shore Drive. West Shore Drive has.
Yeah, there's quite a bit on.
Three large buildings. I don't know the exact measurements of them.
And I've got one more correspondence. This is from Carol Hostetler. She is at 416 Carol and Kim Hostetler, 4016 Liberty Street, Bremen. We are writing you today regarding the request for a variance of development standards to reduce the front yard setbacks and south side yard setback for a proposed building on property located at 418 Lipton Street, Bremen, Indiana, zoned L1 Lake Residential. We are unable to attend the hearing as we will be on a long anticipated family vacation with our son and his family. Therefore, I would like to voice my concerns in this letter. I read the description of L1 Lake Residential in the Marshall County, Indiana zoning ordinance. Policies guiding future land use in L1 state Lake Residential should be residential in nature and should not contain commercial uses that would draw significant traffic. Limited neighborhood scale commercial uses serving the lake communities are appropriate. Point 2 is about the use of our sewer systems, and point 3 addresses preserving public access and easements. The final point states, 4, due to its relatively high residential density, particular attention should be paid to protecting property line setbacks and view sheds to the lake. Property owners within 300 feet of the proposed structure were notified of the request for a variance. The request for a variance appears to conflict with the guidelines set out, points 1 and 4. The information contained in the notice does not indicate any issues in conflict with the goals for points 2 and 3. It is my understanding that when established, the zoning guidelines were thoroughly vetted and were established to protect the interests of property owners. As noted above, guideline 4 states that particular attention should be paid to protecting property line setbacks. This request for a variance on 3 or 4 sides of the property is an egregious violation of the guidelines. The request is for a 67% decrease for both front yard setbacks, one on Lipton and the other on Liberty Street, and requests a 50% decrease in the side yard setback on the south side of the property. It is not in keeping with our guidelines, and the proposed structure will overpower the adjacent residential properties, disturbing lake and channel views for some residents and contribute to a less homey, welcoming, and residential feel for all property owners. Furthermore, the building is not residential in nature. I do not know the intended use of the building, and as that was not disclosed in the notice, but a pole barn measuring 40 feet by 80 feet is a non-residential facility on a residential lot. While the guidelines state the land use should be residential in nature, they do provide for limited neighborhood scale commercial uses serving the lake communities, but state the commercial use should not draw significant traffic. Without information regarding the proposed use of the pole building, it is impossible to assess whether the use will serve the lake communities and if there may be significant traffic. We are strongly opposed to this request for a variance. It is not in compliance with the lake residential guidelines. It gives no information as to any positive impacts for current property owners, and based on the information provided, will likely be a detriment to the neighborhood ambiance and property values for current property owners. And that is it.
Which property is that one?
That is 416 Liberty Street. Is that at
4016?
4016. Do you have that?
Right here.
Oh, up there. That is right here.
What's their setback?
I'm not going to make any comments on egregious violations of setbacks.
Pardon me?
I said I'm not going to make any comments on egregious violations of setbacks.
Okay, on it. Is that right? Let's go and close the public hearing.
Yeah.
You gonna make a motion?
Yeah. That was all right. Motion to close.
Yep.
Motion to close public hearing.
So second. Motion made second, close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearing is now closed. So if he doesn't have the front backyard setbacks, how big of a building can he put in that area without having that other lot?
I believe he can get about 60 to 70 feet. Now,
And he wants 80 and he could be 70?
right. If he does get the third lot, there may be no need for him to come back at all.
He kind of have to reorientate the building in a different
He
direction.
might have to reorient the building a little bit, but there might not be any need to, come for a
The
variance.
only
but
problem
his-
with RV, if he has to change the ridge line, then it'd be hard to fit the RV.
It's the drive-through aspect.
So he can build the building, just not quite that big.
He can build the building,
It's not that big, is it? It's setbacks.
Because of the setbacks.
because of setbacks.
There's no limit.
So there's no reason. I mean, because everybody, the comments I heard was because they don't want the pole barn there, but he can build a building.
He can build a building.
Yeah, if he owned this lot, he could probably turn it 90 degrees and build a bigger building.
Possibly, yeah. And if you look up and down the street, Dwayne has been very good about working with us and asking us, what's kind of, I can't speak for the board. I didn't speak for the board. We kind of guided him on what to ask for and talked about it. He's not out any further than the other residences along Liberty or Lipton Street. So that was one of the considerations.
And he kept the
Dwayne
house
had.
and put it with there, so he passes that.
He passes that.
For a primary.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I've made my decision, so. Somebody wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the variance based on its non-interest to the public safety, health, safety, morals of the general public. The use and value of adjacent properties will not be adversely affected. And strict application of the zoning ordinance will create practical difficulties.
What about the 5 feet on the south end? If he wants to, the TRC want to keep it at 10.
And TRC will keep it at 10.
Okay.
No more than 5 feet. So that would be just on the two front yard variances.
Impervious.
Yeah.
Okay. So second.
Second.
Motion made by Trent, seconded by Larry. Don, sorry. Sorry. Too much information tonight. Lori?
Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Nunemaker,
Yes.
Ms. Rockaway,
Yes.
and Mr. Gustafson.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, and just for a quick comment, I kind of forgot about this, but the 75% was on those two lots. When Mr. Knott was first discussing this with us, he hadn't had the whole property figured out and situated, so that 75% was of the two lots. So he's probably going to be, he will be a lot closer. So 75 is like, it's not going to be applicable anymore, but he might be over, so
They're
yeah.
getting water runs in lakes. They want the water there. So. Okay, sir, you're all set.
Thank you for your consideration and thank the office very much for all your help and patience.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, next case, 25 BZA 43, Daniel Gonzalez.
Did you need these back?
Sir, did you want those pictures back?
No,
Okay.
I've got plenty. Thank you.
All right. If you would have a seat and state your name and address for the record, please.
There's Daniel B. Gonzalez, 320 South Michigan Street, La Paz, Indiana.
And he's with you?
Yeah, he's my son.
Oh, okay. Did you get his name and address then, Lori? Would you say it again, please?
Yeah, it's Daniel Gonzalez, 320 South Michigan Street, La Paz, Indiana.
And you, sir?
James Gonzalez, 320 South Michigan Street, La Paz, Indiana.
Okay, Nicholas?
Petitioner is requesting a variance of development standard in order to build a deck, stairway, and entrance deck to an upstairs access already existing on the building. A reduction of front, which this is kind of the secondary. The primary front yard or front setback is on Michigan Street, and this is along South Street in La Paz, and that is a reduction of 30 feet back to 5 feet. Here are the pictures. The deck is already existing up here. Procedure: the Board of Zoning Appeals reviews and makes final decision on this case based upon the findings of fact as defined in state statute. The existing building is a combination residence and commercial use with primary frontage on Michigan Street. The site has secondary frontage on South Street, which is primarily a parking area for the site. Several sites in the surrounding area are built out to the lot lines, especially on corner lots. The building currently sits only 12 feet from the property line along South Street that is being requested to 5-foot setback. Findings: public health, safety, and welfare, use and value, and strict application. Finding 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Finding 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Finding 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Based on the information provided, staff recommends approval of the request, and TRC recommended approval as well.
Okay, would you guys like to add? Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, well, it looks like that's an existing, sort of like a small studio apartment that has been vacant for a while.
What was the old Bowman shop? They use it for the tires and stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna replace this deck and put a stairway
Yeah,
on
you
it?
see where the yellow caution tape is?
Yeah.
Really, I'm gonna re-lag that deck, the one that's existing, lag it more secure. And then right where that's cut out at, I just wanna come out cause I think code's 36 foot. I wanna come out 38, and then just add a 4x38, and then the stairs coming down.
And they'll go to the left or to the right?
In front of that, yeah, right there, see in front of the door.
Yeah.
Well, as you see the front photo where the caution tape is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna come out forward 38 inches, and then the stairs will come angled down, yeah.
To the left.
To the left.
To the left,
Yeah.
Towards the
looking
house.
at the.
Yeah, looking at it, the picture, yeah, to the left, yeah.
Just in curiosity, how did people get up there before?
Right now, there's inside there, there's just like a jerry-rigged step to get up there. Yeah. It was the old Bowman gas station. So I turned it in, Rick turned it in, he's gonna stay in there, he's turning it into a little retirement home.
Studio. It's a studio, not a home.
Yeah, a little studio.
And then what's in the downstairs?
Downstairs, I just have, I build little cabinets.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Anybody else, any questions?
Nope.
How about a motion to open public hearing?
Motion to open public hearing.
How about a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to open public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearing is now open. Anybody here to speak in favor of his request? Anybody here to speak against? Any correspondence?
We have no correspondence.
Have a motion closed?
Motion closed.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion made second. Closed the public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearing is now closed. Any questions, motions?
Make a motion to approve based on general welfare, adjacent property values, and practical difficulty.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second?
Okay, motion made second to approve. Lori?
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Nunemaker?
Yes.
Ms. Rockaway?
Yes.
Mr. Gustafson?
Yes. Okay, you're all set. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Do we have any other business?
We have no new business. Next meeting is scheduled for September 9th, 2025.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to close.
Have a second? Motion made second, close the meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Meeting's now closed.